And a lot of people do get boundaries confused with punishment. It's different. Boundaries are about you. Being petty and punishment is about somebody else. That's about them. That's about wanting revenge on them. Boundaries are to protect you. So it doesn't matter what happens to them. It's whatever you need to do to make sure you're living by your values.
Welcome back to another episode of Till the Wheels Fall Off. I'm Matt.
I'm Paige.
Today we're talking about being petty, getting down and dirty. Never really discussed this one before, but I think it's very, very relevant. See a ton of it. Truthfully, we've never really been petty with one another. Yeah, I think, speaking for myself here, even though my wife had every right to be petty with me, considering everything I'd been through, it was really beneficial that she wasn't. And I want to be clear by saying this isn't to shame anybody that has felt this way or has done petty things. I've also done petty stuff in my life before. I think it's
we all have.
Yeah, I think it's really about why we seek that false sense of justice and what can be gained by taking a more mature approach through it.
Yeah.
The reward that you get from not getting to that level, what's actually taken from you whenever you resort to being petty. Even though it's fun, I'm not going to lie, it's fun.
I think it feels good, like in the moment and maybe a little bit afterwards, but in the end, it doesn't really do much good.
Yeah, it's so tempting whenever we've been wrong or betrayed or ignored or I guess even abused that.
Yeah.
Like when injustice is that loud that you feel like you've done everything right and you still get the shit in the stick, part of you wants to even the score.
Yeah.
By doing all kinds of things.
I think that's our natural, first impulse. That's what we want to do. Whenever we feel like we've been wronged, we want to lash out. We want to make somebody feel hurt like we felt hurt. But it doesn't really do any good whenever you do that first one. You know how you say that you're not a prisoner or slave to your first thought.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like we all, it's like being a child. Children, they're very petty and very reactive. Like think about our kids whenever somebody does something wrong. Well, they did this and that and I'm going to make them feel this way. You know, I'm going to hurt them because they hurt me.
I'm going to hurt you back.
Yeah. It's childlike. It's a childlike reaction to when you've been hurt.
Sitting here laughing because you read my mind. I went to New York for spring break and we were in the subway waiting for the train. And there was these two kids that couldn't have been 4 years old and they didn't know each other, two separate families. And one of them, for no reason whatsoever, unprovoked, knocked this kid's ice cream out of his hand. And this kid shit bricks. He came unglued.
Went after
tried
him?
to karate kick him, was chasing around, swinging. Yeah.
Like he went
and then they
on.
Then they separated him, and then they were just apart, and he was giving him stink eye, and it was just hilarious.
And that's funny because children do that, but when you see adults do things like that, it's not really mature.
No, it's not.
If we boil it down to that, because for me, being petty, I don't like to be petty. It's not in me. It's something that I have not. Sometimes I've wanted to be petty, but I rarely ever act on it because one of my values is being mature, I guess. That's the opposite of being petty. So I don't really play that game. I don't like to play those games. I've wanted to, they would pop up in my mind sometimes, but I rarely act on it because I'm like, you know what? I'm a little bit more mature than that. I don't think I need to go down that road.
Yeah. And as we'll discover, the psychological effect of being petty actually keeps you stuck in rumination. It keeps you more tethered to that situation, even though you'd rather not be in it, but you also kind of want a sense of justice. And so I guess the first question I asked myself when we were kind of going through this is why does it feel good? Why does it feel good to get back at people?
It's a relief. And you feel like you've gotten justice, but you don't. It's temporary. It's a temporary relief.
Yeah, it mimics power, but what it really is it's emotional quicksand. It's something that looks very stable and like a good idea, but as soon as you do it, you find yourself not feeling so good. You feel guilty for the way that you acted. Some people do anyway.
Yeah.
You feel kind of mad at yourself for stooping to that level. And then you're going to have more problems because now you've just reset the cycle of someone, okay, now you've wronged me, now I get to wrong you back. Especially if you're dealing with someone who's emotionally immature.
Oh, yeah,
now
for sure.
You're playing with fire now.
Yep.
Like dealing with a child, more or less.
Yeah, it's not going to end.
Yeah.
It'll keep going.
And I was thinking about, have I ever been petty? And I think in general, I'm not a petty person. Sometimes I'll do smart ass stuff. Like, I like to troll people. That's kind of fun sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not big on the internet though. And one thing I really, really hate are internet bullies. I can't stand people that demean other people on the internet. That drives me absolutely nuts. And there was this dude, and it was over shoes, I think, but he was being really, really unkind to somebody, really, really mean to someone that I knew. And so I ordered a glitter bomb to his house through this anonymous service, which isn't a sponsor, so I'm not going to mention them, but it's an amazing website. And so I sent this glitter bomb to his house, and you can even pick what kind of glitter you want. I got the finest glitter that exists because that shit took forever to clean up.
Do they have bag of dicks at this place?
Yeah,
too?
Okay. You can mail someone anonymously a bag of dicks, or you can name them, like you can send them animal poo in a box.
Like real poo?
There's this one box that's hilarious. You open it and there's no bottom, and like it's like a sliding box, and when you pull it out, there's no bottom, and it's just full of sand. So when you open the box, sand just goes all over you.
You're so wrong.
Yeah, but anyway.
This is so wrong.
I sent him this glitter bomb, and then I just stalked his social media profiles. I had to stalk his profile in the beginning to find out where he lived. And then I found out where he lived, and I sent him the glitter bomb, and then I watched his social media profiles, and he finally opened it. And of course he posted about it, and it was effing hilarious. I laughed so hard. No regrets. So funny though. Funny.
I'm just staring at you. I just don't even, I would not do something like that because I would feel guilty because I feel, maybe I believe in a little bit of karma and that shit would come after me.
I believe
somehow.
in karma too, and I'm prepared. I'm prepared. Believe me. It's coming back to me.
Okay, so being petty can happen anywhere. And I've noticed that there has been a rise of pettiness within social media. Like if you look at TikTok and Instagram Reels or just anywhere, people use petty as empowerment. It's like, if he cheats, go key his car, or don't get even, get followers, go do this, go do, like it's just, and it always rubs me wrong because I'm like, I understand what you're saying. I know that you feel like you've been wronged, but there's a better way to address these issues than to go that petty route because you're going to regret it down the road. And if you don't, then okay, cool. Maybe that's just part of your personality. But for me personally, I don't think being petty is very productive for your relationships or anything like that.
I've got this thing, glitter bomb aside, where I won't allow someone, I've always said, like, you cannot afford the rent in my head. And if I'm being petty, that's another way of saying that you still live in my head rent free.
Yeah.
Like breakups are some of the worst things on social media. People will, I'm over him. He's a lying, cheating scumbag, whatever else. And then they'll post like a really raunchy photo of themselves and be like, some comment like over you or something like that. Well, obviously you're not.
Yeah.
You're just being petty.
Right.
And trying to hurt him. Maybe, maybe he liked that outfit and now you know that he's pissed at hurting.
Right.
It shows up in a lot of ways. And you're right. It's people clap for this.
Yeah, I guess because it's entertaining or because they think they're standing up for themselves.
That's what it is.
Or because there's justice. Or
that's what it is. It's that false sense of justice.
It's that false. It just doesn't work that way. How do we switch it? What are we doing?
Yeah, man. There's something so powerful about feeling vindicated and feeling like you've got a sense like you've somehow arrived at justice whenever you get back at someone. And then especially when the whole world is clapping, it's got to feel like that even more. But generally what it does is just cause retaliatory pettiness to come back the other way. Mm-hmm. And so you just get the spiral. You're really not solving any problem. If what you actually want is to simply move on from a relationship.
Yeah.
Like the breakup ones and whatnot, like you're not doing it by doing that. If anything, you're going to get a text from that person later that night or the next day, and you're more likely to get sucked back into it.
Right. It's just going to keep the cycle going.
Yeah. So if you're actually done, you just go about your business.
Yeah. You kind of just like let them be and deal with that. It's hard though, because a lot of people feel like, well, then I'm not standing up for myself. There's a fine line here. And that's kind of what we're going to dig into here, finding the fine line of standing up for yourself and not being petty. Like I had been following an Instagram therapist couple years ago. And I remember she had posted something about a shirt. She had a shirt or something that said like, it's okay to be petty or something. And I was like, that's interesting. I would like to look into this real quick. And I don't think it was about being petty. It's more about just like, it's okay to stand up for yourself. but you're doing it in a way that protects you, not to be like a complete asshole to the other person.
That makes sense.
Right? I mean, like, I don't know. It was just interesting. I mean, you've called me petty before with certain situations, but
yeah,
I wasn't necessarily, I was not necessarily petty. I actually was just standing up for myself and doing what I thought was going with I was living by my values, and it wasn't pettiness.
Yeah. And as
because I wasn't doing anything to piss anybody off. But
yeah, we'll get into it later. Like whenever you stand up for yourself and set boundaries, some people will call that petty.
Yeah.
They'll call it petty. Doesn't mean it's true, but they'll definitely call it petty. So I was researching the kind of the science of revenge and like where that comes from. There's this really interesting study, Carl Smith, Wilson, and Gilbert, 2006, and it was called The Paradoxical Consequences of Revenge. And what they found was that people expect revenge to offer relief, but it actually prolongs distress. Kind of we talked about, like living in your head still.
Yeah.
Retaliators ruminate more and they heal slower, and those who didn't retaliate reported more peace. I think I have definitely been through this before, where I've wanted to be petty with somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And had every right to be petty with somebody and just let it go, especially on the internet. This comes up a lot. People go back and forth in comment sections all day long. And when you don't reply, like you take your power back, but it's so hard to do. You're like, oh, I want to throw a zinger. Oh man, it'd be perfect, But it's also, again, it keeps you stuck in that rumination cycle of thinking about what you're going to say next or what you could have said, or, what's that French word for like spirit of the staircase when you're at the bottom of the stairs thinking about what you should have said after an argument?
I have no idea.
You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
I don't remember the word.
Somebody's going to know, but we do not.
But anyway, you sit there after an argument and you think about, oh, I should have said this. I should have said that. But the whole entire time you're ruminating.
Okay, but I feel like I do that when I don't respond too, though. So like there's got to be a middle ground here. There has to be a way to respond without being petty, but you're still sticking up for yourself.
Yes, and that is about assertiveness.
Yes.
There's a difference between being assertive and being petty.
Right.
Assertiveness is the real power move, actually.
Absolutely, 100%.
Assertiveness and boundaries kind of go hand in hand.
Yes, they do. Because it's about you. It's not about changing or making the other person have justice or get what they deserve. It's about you protecting yourself and protecting your peace so that you don't get sucked into their bullshit.
Okay, examples of pettiness first before we move on.
Okay.
So I don't want to get past those. Examples of pettiness that show up in relationships, some pretty typical stuff. I think passive aggressive comments are probably a really big one. This comes up a lot. Like we talked about our own history. I think that why we worked really well together was because I did my part in trying to be a better man, trying to be a better partner, friend, father, all that good stuff. And then you did your part by giving me the grace to do that, which isn't something I deserve, but it was something that you offered. And I took that as a gift. You weren't going to be petty. You weren't going to bring up something from the past every single chance you got.
Oh, hell no.
You weren't going to kick me when I was down.
Nope.
You weren't going to do any of that stuff. And it was really, really beneficial for me. It reminded me that this is a gift of grace, and you could have pulled that trigger anytime you wanted to, but you didn't. And what that said to me was that you respected me. You respected what we were trying to do. And I think you respected yourself too.
That's what I was going to say.
Instead of going to that place.
I respected my values. I respected what I believed in, and I wasn't going to put myself in that situation. I don't feel good when I'm a petty, when I'm ugly like that. It doesn't make me feel good. It goes against my values. It goes against what I believe in. So yeah, I respected you and I loved you and I care about you, but that wasn't the only reason I did it. I did it because of myself too.
Yeah.
Because I would have felt like shit had I had gone down that road constantly. Nobody wants to live in that. Like it feels good for a little bit, but then it can become a habit for some people. Being petty, it's like that's going to be your retaliation all the time. That's how you're going to respond to everything, because that's what you're used to doing, because you're used to that feel good emotion that you get as soon as you do it. I wasn't going to go down that road. I didn't want to do that because I knew that could harm me and you in the end. It's not okay.
Man, like if someone's had a long history of drinking or using drugs or something like that, and like let's say that their car keys are missing, it's like, oh, what, did you get shit faced again and forget them?
Yeah,
stuff that comes up like that, like these little comments, and like what purpose does it serve in that moment? What purpose does it serve other than to hurt? Yeah,
I just don't feel like I ever did that to you.
You never did that to me.
I really don't, and I don't think you've ever did.
But you didn't.
I guess, but even then, I don't feel like it's justified at any time, because it doesn't do any good for anybody. And also, I was raised with the mentality of 2 wrongs don't make a right. Remember, I shoved that down your throat for many, many years.
Yeah, you did. God, yeah. Imagine going to a photo album or something like that. This is something I see too. And it's like, oh, you were shit faced in that one. Oh, you didn't come to that birthday party because you were blah, blah, blah. Like, you're pointing out a fact. Don't get me wrong, but it's also what's your intention behind it? What's the intention? Is it to hurt?
Is it to hurt because you were hurt?
Is it malicious? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a way to bring up these types of issues without being petty. You know, I think that what we did, and maybe this is toxic, I don't know, but I think a lot of the times we joked about shit that we would bring up. Like we would talk about, like we would see pictures. Like I actually have a picture of us. It was the Easter right before you went to treatment.
With the eyebrows?
With the eyebrows. Okay. Yeah. And we talk about this. We've talked about the eyebrows a few episodes ago, but I actually have it framed in our house because it's a reminder of like, okay, that was a really interesting time. But we kind of laugh about it. And I don't know if that's like a coping mechanism that we do, or if that's just something that we've done together. Like, yeah, we talk about the hard times, but we've also laughed about a lot of shit that went down whenever you were in active addiction. Like we'll look at pictures and I remember when you went to, when you were in your IOP and we were in the group, it was like the whole group. It was with the partners and you guys. And we were having a conversation about how you threw a burrito at me in the house at one night. Like we were having a fight and you threw the burrito or the taco and it like landed on the couch and it just went off everywhere. It wasn't funny that night, but it sure was funny when we were discussing it in group.
The absurdity of it, man.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I think that we went like a different route. It wasn't about, and I know that that people have different levels of hurt and harm, and there have been some really shitty things that have happened within your relationships, and I'm not dismissing that or discounting that or minimizing that because it's difficult shit. But I feel like with us, the way that we dealt with it was just a little bit different than going down that like revenge, petty, I'm mad at you, resentful route.
Yeah, I think revenge just prolongs the unpleasantness of the original transgression, whatever it was that led you to this point of wanting to seek revenge, enact revenge on somebody. It keeps you in it. It doesn't really free you. It feels like it will. Like that zinger feels like it's gonna like, I need to let you know that you suck, and then okay, now truce. But what it really does is just change you to the people that hurt you.
It feels good to release some shit sometimes, you know? You know how, have you ever been like really angry and you just want to scream?
Yeah.
And then you scream and it feels really good in the moment, but then you get a really bad headache and then maybe your throat hurts a little
for
bit.
The whole day after that.
And then you're just like, why did I do that? I really feel off now. It didn't really make me feel good in the end. It made me feel good like in the moment. So it's kind of similar to that. Like you need this release, but there's a healthy way to release it without being petty.
Yeah. So listener exercise. Think of a time where write down one petty thing that you've either done or considered before. And then ask yourself the question, what did you actually want? Did you want validation? Did you want respect? Did you want relief from that situation? And did it actually get you closer, or did it get you further from those things? And journal that. That's a fun journal exercise. Try that one and see what comes out the other side. I'd be curious to know. And if you're open to it, share it with me because I'm actually curious. Send us an email. I would actually like to know. My guess would be that some people would totally say that they loved every second of it. I think I know one person in particular who would say, oh, totally worth it. But I think most people, it kind of flies in the face of your values, and it's not who you are. You get hurt so bad, and eventually you want to assert yourself. It's just not the right way to go about it, man. It's just not the way to go about it. So assertiveness is the real power move. Assertiveness it's clear, it's direct, it's values aligned, and it communicates without wounding anybody, I think. And it sort of protects your peace without, I guess, that edge where you feel like you need to punish somebody.
Yeah. I guess that's really where it boils down to, too, is that you want to punish somebody. I wanted to punish you.
That's interesting. You never wanted to punish me for everything.
No. And I mean, just like I've talked about on the podcast and with you, when we started discussing some pretty deep shit on here, I felt very uncomfortable talking bad about you. Like I don't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't feel comfortable. I've never been that person to like shit talk you. about you. Like I'll do it to your face, like for fun, like we'll joke around and we'll talk shit.
Yeah.
But like behind your back or to other people, I don't like that. It just kind of goes against my values. It's like gossiping. It's like just not comfortable. I didn't necessarily want to punish you. It was more of just like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I didn't realize what you were doing until years later.
Maybe that's part of it. How much of recovery do you think played into that?
What, like my recovery or your recovery?
Mine played into the fact that you didn't want to punish me.
Well, probably a lot because you were showing me that you were changing your behavior.
So what would it look like for you to have to get to that place?
To want to punish you?
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't be changing. I would be very angry if you were still going on and on and on. I can understand why somebody would want to be petty and want to punish somebody. Because they're doing the same thing over and over again and they're harming you. So
I guess it's fair to say we all arrive at that point eventually.
I think so.
You just didn't get pushed to that point.
I don't think I got pushed to that point. I think that's fair. Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, it's like one of my values to where I don't know how I would have, if I would have ever gotten to that point. Like maybe I would have left the situation before I got to that point.
Well, I'm not the only person in your life that's ever pissed you off. There are other people that have pissed you off. Have you ever been petty with them?
No.
Just not really in your nature.
No. I've wanted to be petty. I've talked about being petty, like with certain people. I'm like, oh, petty page is going to come out. I'm going to be petty, but I don't act on it. It's just something that I want to do in the moment, but I don't do it because I know it's not within me. I don't want to regret something.
All right. So I think you have always been assertive though.
Have I?
Yeah. And I don't think that we ever talked about this. You didn't learn this in therapy. You've just always done this. Let's say, okay, example, dishes or laundry. Okay, let's go laundry. That's a fun one for a lot of people.
Sorry.
The petty way would be, sure, I'll do the laundry again, since I guess I'm the maid around here.
Mm-hmm.
That would be sort of a petty remark.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of dark, but it's also petty.
Yeah.
In saying that, you are trying to get a rise out of somebody. Like it's veiled with.
I don't think you're trying to get a rise out of somebody. I think you're more just trying to express yourself to let somebody know, hey, motherfucker, you need to be helping me here. And I've asked you, or maybe I haven't, but this is my way of getting out of it. Or this is my way of like letting it out of my head. Think about whenever there have been times that I mumble under my breath and you've said something to me of like, what did you say? Or what are you saying? I'm like, nothing. I didn't say anything. I said it, but I didn't want you to hear it, but you were trying to hear it. But then I was like, I'm not saying it out loud for you to hear it. This is really for me. So maybe I am being petty, but I'm still not letting you know it. That's how I release it. I do it in silence, but like mumbling. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. Okay. So the petty thing would be that, I'm not the maid around here. The assertive thing would be to say, hey, we agreed on a chore split. I need a partner here. Yeah. We talked about a partnership. I need you to be a partner. Yeah, you kind of got to parent people in some way.
It's not parenting.
It sounds like parenting, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, and we're going to go down this road again of I shouldn't have to tell them to do this. I shouldn't have to ask. You need to fucking know. But we know that a lot of guys don't really know how to do it. So yes, you do have to ask.
Yeah, sometimes also like, I don't know, I could say the same for you on some things. Yeah. Okay, humans forget things. Do I feel maybe like this it shades a bit more male? Yeah, probably. But hey, everyone's human, right? We forget stuff. It's just kind of how it goes. Yeah, running a business with you is really fun. I love reminding you 7 times to do something. It's so much fun. See, I'm being petty there. And then what's crazy is that you get pissed at me for asking.
Okay, but you're not doing it to be a dick.
No, I'm not.
No, you're literally just asking me. Well, you're like.
No, just now I was being petty by saying that. That was a petty remark.
Yeah, it was, but it wasn't.
I'm joking.
It wasn't that shitty though.
No, it could be worse.
Yeah, and it's not, and like you're not. Some people might try to be petty to bring on shame too, and I don't think that's okay. You know.
Yeah, I think everyone's got a different different temperament for shame. Or not for shame, but for pettiness too.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, humor is get the best out of me with humor. You could say it's the most petty thing in the world, but if it's funny, I'm laughing as hard as I can with you. It's hilarious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think some people sense of humor may be a little bit different and they don't have the tolerance for that kind of stuff. More dry type personalities, like they don't accept petty stuff very well at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like my boomer parents don't get it. They think I'm just being a complete ass. So I'm just being sarcastic about something.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's funny.
Right.
It's actually, because it seems more appropriate than being assertive because that seems weird in the moment. So I'll just say something kind of half-assed sarcastic.
I'm kind of like that too, though.
What do you mean?
Know this. Like, I don't understand some jokes that you do sometimes. I'm like, it's not
you take
funny.
Me seriously.
And I take you seriously and I take it personally. And then I'm like, you're like, you just don't get me. You and Sydney both. You just don't get me.
Yeah, you get pissed at Sydney too. I'm like, that was funny. She wasn't being rude. It was just over your head.
That's my HSP-ness coming out.
Oh my God.
Hey, I'm working on it though. I'm working on that.
Yeah, just always assume it's a joke. If it seems like a very offhand remark, just consider it's probably a joke that you just haven't gotten yet. It's usually the way it goes. But anyway, being assertive is the key to getting what you want. That's where we were, right? Yeah. Assertiveness kind of it ends the game. It ends the game of the back and forth and
stops that cycle.
Right. Pettiness changes the rules of the game, sort of, and it just like, okay, we're not trying to accomplish laundry. Now we're trying to accomplish hurting each other. Yeah. Now it's a dig at your character. Now it's a dig at your personality and all these other things. But if you ask that person what they actually want, they're like, I want a partner in life who's going to help me with the tasks that I'm overwhelmed by. The right way to say that is not, what am I, the effing maid around here? If that's what you really want. I
wonder if I've ever said something like that.
I don't think so.
No, you can't think of me saying anything like, okay.
No, you're pretty nice.
Sometimes.
No, I don't think you have.
When I'm overwhelmed and I'm overstimulated, and I've said that this is not an excuse, I can definitely be a biatch about shit.
Yeah, I think you have to ask yourself what you need. This is what I do anyway when I feel like being petty. This comes up at work a lot for me because that's when I have the most disputes. I have by far more disputes at work than I ever do in my personal life.
That's true.
I do, I don't know, 40 to 50 transactions per day, sort of mini transactions. And in any given one of those, a million things can go wrong. And people get petty about stuff and they get kind of shitty about things. My thing has always been like, what do I actually need here? What do I actually want here? And just focus on that.
Yeah.
And that's an exercise I think that anyone can do.
Right.
Is if you feel like someone has wronged you and you want to be petty about it, write down what it is you actually need. Like, what do you actually need? Not what you're trying to prove. Like, what do you actually need?
Yeah. That's good. I like that.
What do I actually need out of this?
Yeah.
And it sort of gets you back on track. And I think a lot of this episode is going to be about taking the high road.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people get really fucking tired of taking the high road. I'm sorry. Excuse the language, but seriously, it gets really old to feel that way. I get that way sometimes where I'm like, why can't I just be petty and be okay with it so that I can just have a little bit of a relief?
I guess you can. There's no rule that says you can't, but you just have to understand.
But
what
I
it's
know the
do.
consequences of it.
Yeah, you have to.
So then I don't do that.
You have to accept the consequences along with it.
But I know that a lot of people get really tired of the high road, going down that high road, because it's like I'm doing the right thing all the damn time, always. But what do I get out of it?
Again, I think that assertiveness ends that. If someone has gotten you to the point where you feel the need to exact revenge on them and get back at them and be petty, is this a relationship you really need to be part of anymore?
Right.
Like,
right.
The best
There's your sign.
Like,
yeah.
Like they've said, as far as breakups go, like living well is the best revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Like going on and living your life happily ever after is the best revenge you could ever get.
Yeah.
That is the end all be all of revenge.
Right.
You really want to destroy somebody? Go do that.
Yeah.
It's
still about you. It's not about them. It should always be about you, not about them.
Mm-hmm.
All the choices that you make should be about you, not about them when it comes to that.
Okay. What do we have up next in this discussion?
Now we're talking about what if they're not in recovery, not changing, and still winning?
Oh, when people get away with shit.
Mm-hmm.
Paige has got a long history with this one, man.
I do, but I think it's misunderstood.
Okay, explain what's meant by that. People getting away with shit.
So, why should I be the better person if they never change, or the bigger person if they're not changing? If they're still doing their thing, why should I be that better person? What if doing the right thing doesn't change anything? Or why am I the only one doing the work when they're out there coasting, just doing whatever they want to do? I have felt this way for a long time within a lot of different areas of my life with different relationships where I feel like, okay, I'm always doing the right thing, but I feel like people have just stalled and they're stuck and they're getting away with shit. Like they're able to thrive, or they look like they're thriving. I don't know if they really are, but they look like they're thriving. But they've done some really shitty things, you know? Like why do the good not get rewarded?
Yeah, I don't know. Life's weird like that.
Life is really fucking weird about cutting corners and shit. Like you get further along if you cut more corners. Whenever you're doing the good thing, you don't.
Yeah, when you're disingenuous, you get more like followers and likes and attention.
Seriously, like that's going back to the social media with people that will just say or do anything. They will be petty. They will say whatever it is to get those clicks, those likes, and clickbait, and then they'll make those clickbait and then they'll get paid for it. And it's like, we're so fucking authentic. Like, I don't even go down that road. We don't do that shit.
I don't think I've ever really been. I've probably answered some questions I've been passionate about things, but not petty about things.
Yeah, no, I know that. But I mean, like when we post, it's like, it's authentic shit.
It's just real.
It's real.
Yeah, it's
we're
just me
like,
talking.
we're posting something to get you invited into a conversation that we're having that is authentic and real and raw. And it's the right thing for us to do. We don't sugarcoat. It's not like, we're not faking it so we can get likes or whatever. Like that's just stupid. And it sucks when I see other people doing that and they're like thriving, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think, man, this is something I've identified, and it could just be conjecture. It could just be, I don't know, some kind of bias that's clouded my take on this. But I think I've gotten to know thousands of spouses and partners of people that struggle with substance use. And man, talk about some people who are just like good, salt of the earth people that follow the rules, that do everything right, that are empathetic to others' needs. They look out for other people, and they get shit on.
Yeah.
They get shit on. And that's not fair.
Right.
It's not. Like, it's fair to say it's not fair at all. There's nothing about that that's fair. So it sucks to see people who are getting away with murder, essentially. Like, you're getting away with something. Like, you're not doing it right. You're not going about this right. And especially when it's your partner, you know what I mean? Like I got a message the other day. It was interesting. It was about someone that was still using, but undercover, and they were still going to like 12-step meetings, and to all their friends and everything, they were like this hero. But the wife was so resentful, like hated this son of a bitch because he's phony. It's like, that's not who you are. And you get all this praise from everybody and you're secretly drinking, and I know it, but you don't even know that I know it. And you're getting one over on everybody and you're still not doing it right. And meanwhile, she's had to carry the load for all these years, like domestically and like in tasks just to run their home and raise their kids. But then emotionally too, she's been wearing this all by herself, and this fucker's just getting away with it. And like, why wouldn't you be pissed?
Oh, I'd be livid.
Yeah.
I'd be livid.
He's getting all kinds of praise, and it's like, that would piss me off too. I get it. I totally get it. I get it. And so that's kind of what this little chunk's about. But I think something that I learned from you through our journey through this is that you were never going to resort to that because you refused to become that person.
Right.
And I know that was painful. I know it had to be painful at times, considering what I've gotten away with. And you've always done the right thing. And it's easier to do the wrong thing. It's always easier to do the wrong thing. It's a shortcut.
Well, how many times have I said I would love to be able to just numb out and check out and not have to fucking deal with anything? Like, that would be nice. That seems easy. That seems great. Like, I want to be able to do that, but it goes against what I stand for and my values. So I have to go down the hard path.
Yeah. And it just sucks. And I think it's okay and fair to say that sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's not going to do you any good. And I think this is where the emotional maturity piece kicks in. It doesn't really do you any good to stoop to someone else's level and to do the things that they're doing. You're not going to feel good about yourself. If I knew anything about you guys, it's that you're not going to feel good about yourself when you do it.
Mm-mm.
This isn't like a glitter bomb. This is like changing your values about who you are and how you show up,
right,
and what you're really about. And you're not going to feel good about yourself if you do that. I promise you, you won't. You won't. I know that you wouldn't have.
Oh, no. Have
you ever actually gotten petty? Like, have you ever done, like, back when you were like in elementary school or middle school or high school with somebody?
I literally can't think of anything. Maybe if somebody listening is like a childhood friend who could say, hey, you were petty here, maybe, but I doubt it.
Yeah,
I was a quiet kid. Like I just didn't really, I stayed in my lane. I didn't want to rock the boat or like, I mean, there were girls, I remember in elementary school, there were girls that were throwing gum in my hair. Like you should be able to get petty over that, right? Like I would want to turn around and say, hey, I'm going to put gum in your hair. I didn't do that. I just went home and got the gum out of my hair.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
Who
not,
are they? Oh, mess them up right now.
I'll tell you after.
I need names. Someone's getting a glitter bomb.
No, I don't, it's like someone could say, well, why didn't you stand up for yourself? But it's like, I didn't feel like it was necessary, I guess. Like they'll have it. Their time will come. Sometime justice will serve someday. You know, it's like not my job to do that. And I didn't want to get in trouble for it because you learn in school, like if you retaliate, you're going to get in trouble for that.
Yeah, petty works really good in movies and stuff like that.
Yes.
But in real life, it doesn't play out that way. Usually like half the stuff they do is like you'd go to jail for.
Right.
Remember Mean Girls? Great movie. Regina George made that scrapbook with all the
burn book. Yeah.
And like gave it to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like your ass would be grass today if you tried to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was petty.
Oh yeah.
Like that's like a true narcissistic petty person.
Yeah.
Her character in that movie.
Yeah.
Like yeah, you're going down for that. You can't get away with that kind of shit. You know, it works well in movies and whatnot, but like in reality, it's a lot of stuff can get you in trouble.
Yeah. I think that what it boils down to with me too, is that I don't want somebody to do that to me. Like if I'm petty, I don't want somebody to be petty towards me. It's almost like treat others the way you want to be treated.
Yeah. The golden rule.
Yeah.
I think underlying all this is kind of a frame of that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think, you could do a thought experiment here and think about the person that you want to be 5 years from now. How would that person view the person that handled that situation today? So if you want to grow 5 years from now, I hope you want to grow. I hope you want to be a different person, a better version of yourself. Looking back, would you be proud of the way that you handled it? If the answer is no, then you probably shouldn't do that thing. Just don't.
Yeah.
It's tough not to get emotional and just get, fly off the handle about it. Anger gets the best of you and you just
a lot of our listeners have done that. They've gotten to that point. I get it. I understand why.
Yeah, man.
It's hard.
Yeah. And again, we open this by saying like understanding obviously that there's reasons that people will go to this we'll
get into that
life,
too.
But
yeah,
it's not about shaming people that have. In fact, I think a lot of the time it's funny, but I also know under that there's a lot of pain.
Yeah, for sure.
Because what they really want is someone to see them, to validate them, heard. To hear them, support them.
Yeah.
And the only way they can get anyone's attention is being petty.
Yeah.
And that's sad. So there's a lot of pain underneath it. Okay.
Sure.
Real quick, we got a sponsor for today's show we want to thank. Soberlink. Thank you to Soberlink for sponsoring the show. If you don't know what Soberlink is an amazing device that can help you rebuild trust. It can also protect your kids from going somewhere they probably shouldn't. So it is a breathalyzer, but it's more than just a breathalyzer. Soberlink is a very high-tech device. It has built-in military-grade facial recognition technology. It is tamper-proof, and it comes with an onboard system. So you can set up contacts to support your sobriety. So let's say you're someone like me, and you're trying to rebuild trust with someone like Paige. And I've been, I would just say, trying, but failing for a very long time. This time I'm serious, and I want to prove it. I'm going to sign myself up for a Soberlink. I'm going to add her as a contact. And I'm going to blow into this thing X amount of times a day. You set that up. You determine what the schedule is. And it takes that conversation off the table. You no longer have to guess. Are they drinking? They're acting kind of funny? No, because they got a report 20 minutes ago that says you're sober. You're sober. It helps a spouse or partner begin to trust their gut again too and tell the true from the false, because for so long you've had to question everything. It just takes the question off the table. It's really, really beneficial in that sense. Another great way this can be used is in custody battles. If you're separating from someone and there's alcohol involved, make sure you get one of these written into your agreement. You want to make sure that your kids are going somewhere safe. And Soberlink is court admissible in all 50 states and in Canada. It's trusted by over 200,000 people, and it's considered the gold standard in court. If it's custody day and you've got to do the handoff, they've got to test first. And if they test and they've been drinking, guess what? The kids ain't going over there. That gives you peace of mind. That's the best situation for the kids. And I can speak for myself by saying if I was someone who was losing access to my kids because of alcohol, it would really make me question my relationship with alcohol. So it can jar someone awake. But I will say it's not going to fix behaviors or anything like that. But this is a great tool to give you data that supports your feelings a lot of the time. It will validate you. It can also help you make sure that your kids are going somewhere safe or not going somewhere that they don't belong.
Mm-hmm.
Soberlink has been really generous in giving our listeners a 50% off coupon off of a device. If you go to soberlink.com/wheels, just enter in your email address and they will send you a 50% off coupon for your device purchase. Now, there is a monthly subscription, but it's really simple. Go to the website, check it out, get a Soberlink, support the companies that support us. Okay, that's it for Soberlink. Where are we going now?
All right. Well, the next one is about workplace pettiness. Do you want to talk about that? Do you have any experience there?
Yeah, I think workplace pettiness, this pops up a lot, man.
Yeah.
You get coworkers that do nothing. It's like the kid in the group project that does absolutely nothing, or they're a serious pain in the ass and nothing happens to them. Nothing happens to them, man. They coast. They make the same money you make. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit and they get away with not giving a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that drives people absolutely nuts. They take credit and they get applause. And you're the one who's busting your ass. You're the one who actually cares. Maybe you're taking your work home and you're really invested in your clients or whatever the job is. And like you're really putting in effort. And you've got these other people that don't do shit. And you want to be petty. You want to get them back. You want to sabotage them. You want it to be known that they're a scumbag. And this is a really, really tough one. This is a really difficult one because if you're not in a managerial position and this isn't like a subordinate, there's not much that you can do.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could bring it up. You could rat them out. You could be petty and just be like, you know what? I'm just not going to do that work. And in not doing that work, maybe a couple of clients who are really good-hearted, awesome people, been with the company for a long time, get hurt as a result. But you're like, F it, I don't care. I'm going to be petty. In some ways, that's it's like natural consequences, but in other ways it's sort of petty because that's not who you are.
Yeah.
It's not who you are.
Well, think about whenever you were in college and you had this really
group
big
projects.
paper. Yeah. Your group projects and you felt like you were the only one that was doing all the work. How did that make you feel? Did you feel like being petty or were you just like, you know what, I'm just going to get through this and deal with it? Yeah,
it was the latter. I never felt petty. In the beginning, I did get assertive. And I remember telling somebody, like, I'm not your parent. I shouldn't have to call you and tell you that your portion of the paper is due. Like, it should have been done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to remind you this crap. Like, I'm doing it. You can do it.
Yeah.
After I didn't get a response from that, I just resorted to writing the whole thing by myself. And it was like a 90-page paper I finished by myself. I had one other person that was really helpful. But other than that, it was awful, man. It was just me and late nights, but a computer. But we all got the same grade. And that's bullshit. But I think college does that for a reason. In a lot of ways, that's the way
teaches you about life.
Corporate world works too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Unless you're unless you're like in sales or some entrepreneurial path where you're like, you see a direct, like your efforts directly relating to your check. You don't really get that. So in corporate world, a lot of these people just kind of hide and they get away with stuff and they're always screwing up. And it's always the responsible person. This is kind of like the avatar for our listener base. I think these are the spouses and partners. Like they're good people that want the best. They don't want to see the family fall apart. So they're just going to pick up the extra slack. They're going to do whatever needs to be done to get the job done because that's who they are. They're hardworking people and they take pride in themselves and their effort. And then you got other people who just freeload and they're totally cool with it. And it's hard not to get petty about it. It's really hard. But I think I think the only way I've ever been able to make sense in any of this, because this is in relationships too, but in professional world, I think that you have to let them quote unquote win that moment, if that makes any sense, because you're building something that they can't fake. And that's character, respect, and a reputation. And it will come back to bite them in the ass. It will one day. I promise you it will. Any organization that's worth its salt, this stuff comes out eventually. It will. In the meantime, it hurts and it sucks. And there's really...
Yeah, they say that like the truth will come out eventually. And I just don't know how...
You don't believe that?
I mean, I want to believe it because like I've waited for this for in other areas of our lives about like the truth coming out. And I just don't know if it will ever happen. But if it doesn't happen, that's okay too, because it's not about that. I don't think it's about those other people. It's about us and what we want to gain from these situations. So like at work, if you're living by your values and doing what you're supposed to do, you should reap the benefits of that at some point. But the others who are not being authentic or whatnot, I don't know if that ever happens to them or not. Like,
they just get away with it forever?
I feel like some people do get away with things for the rest of their lives, but I don't know.
This is going to sound petty, but it's not. But I almost take pity on people like that because I know at the end of the day, like I can be proud for reasons that they can't be proud of my effort for that day and what I'm actually building. And there's some people that I wish I could care less. Like I wish I could care less, and I wish I could care like they care, which is not at all. And just take advantage of the system and take advantage of their job and the position and everything else and kind of get by and float, you know?
I mean, you kind of were like that when you were younger. If you think about that. So you've been in that position before.
Sort of, yeah.
Like if you think about it. So how did that feel compared to how you are now when you completely live by your values?
Man, I can talk to our kids about hard work and the importance of it. And I'm speaking from experience, you know, like I have lessons I can teach my kids that those people can't. They can't. And you can say those things, but I think that your character and your reputation will eventually come out. I really do believe that. I think you can also do a couple things as far as assertiveness goes. I think that you can advocate for yourself in the office. I think that you can let managers know and let people know, like when you've done something, even though that feels cringe to you, you need to do that. You need to let people know when you've done something.
Oh, for sure.
And if no one else is advocating for you, if someone's taking the credit or stealing thunder, like you need to advocate for yourself.
Absolutely.
You can be assertive in that sense. And you can also be assertive if you've got very defined roles, right? You can let someone fall on their face. You just have to question your intentions.
Yes, it's all about the intentions.
Are my intentions here to be petty because I want them to get in trouble, or are my intentions here like I've done my part? This is what I'm paid to do. This is how the system works. Apparently, I'm going to I'm
based on what I need, not what they're doing.
Yeah, because there are a ton of people that take on extra work and don't get rewarded for it, and the person they're taking it from just keeps coasting.
Yeah.
And those people get promoted like everyone else, and that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Don't do other people's work if there's no reward in it whatsoever for you. You can advocate for yourself in that sense and have a very frank and honest conversation with your manager or whoever. Be like, listen, I'm not being rewarded or compensated. I've been doing this extra work forever, and I'm happy to help the organization. I care about our clients. I care about our people, but I'm not going to carry someone else's load that's paid the same amount that I am to do the same job. And then you put it in your manager's lap. It's like, now you do something about it or you don't.
I had somebody that I worked with when I was in the corporate world who was actually above me. And I did a lot of their work, and I was starting to get resentful, but I wasn't trying to be petty or anything like that. But I did have to put my foot down and set boundaries and say, like, I'm not going to do this anymore. This is not my responsibility. But you think though that when you do get angry, you're like, oh, why do they keep coasting? Why do they keep getting it? And obviously, I mean, at some point, this person actually got let go. Exactly. Yeah, that did happen. But I was just this made me think about that time for myself.
Yeah. Would you trade your values for other people's validation? I guess you kind of have to ask yourself that question. And I think for many people, the answer is no, you wouldn't. But I also would encourage you to advocate for yourself. And I would encourage you, if you're in a situation that is not, it's not looking out for stuff like this where you can't advocate for yourself, or when you do, no one does anything. Maybe it's a place you don't need to be working.
Right.
Find somewhere else to work.
Right.
It sounds like a toxic culture anyway.
For sure.
So, I mean, I think that this is true in relationships too. Like sometimes you can't have it both ways. You can't be where you are to get what you want and also be involved with that person. Sometimes something has to give.
Yeah.
Oftentimes it means that you have to move.
Right.
If they're not going to. If they're not going to change.
Yeah.
All right. This happens a lot in families as well. Man, there's always someone in the family, whether it's like a brother or a sister or an in-law or somebody who's fake as hell. And they get all the applause and all the praise. And it seems like everyone knows it, but the people cheering for them. It's like, how do y'all not see through this shit? Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
And it's really hard not to be petty with them.
I'm sure everybody has these in their family.
Everyone's got this person. 1000%.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really hard not to be petty with them and stoop to their to that level and troll their Instagram posts or whatever else with some like fake praise or like throw some smart ass remark or some snide remark while they're talking in a group of people to call out their bullshit. You know what I mean? Like it's really tough not to do that.
So I think that some people do this in social media. They see people who are winning or whatever, and they're like, I want to post something so that they see what I'm going to post, and I'm going to be petty about it, and I hope that they understand what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, there's a lot of cryptic posts like that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's probably the closest I've gotten to being petty, is doing that on social media.
Posting for someone else to see.
Posting for someone else to see, to cause not jealousy. I don't want to say jealousy. It's more of just like, I'm putting this out there into social media for everyone to see, but it's really about you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that I that's probably, but you don't tell them. It's just kind of like in the back of your mind, like, they should know this is about them, but they probably don't know it's about them. Honestly, and then, let's be real. It's all about me thinking that they know that it's about them. Yeah. And that just makes me feel better knowing that I put it out there. No, the
people they're not aware enough to know it's about them.
Right.
They're probably like, ooh, who's that about?
Ooh, or like, oh, that's interesting. I know somebody like that. You know, I need to share this. But yeah, I think we've all done that. I think that's just part of human nature.
And if you just post it, then you've got the plausible deniability of saying, I just posted that. It had nothing to do with you.
Right. But it makes me feel good in the moment when I post it. I'm like, yeah.
Oftentimes these people live a life that you don't actually want to live. They appear to live a life that you want to live, and they fake it, which is usually the most annoying thing about them.
Yeah.
I often feel, this is how I make peace with this, is I feel bad for these people. I don't know another way to say it. I feel pity for these people that live this facade of a life for the praise in order to feel like they can look at themselves in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like, it comes from a place of a low self-esteem usually.
Yeah, it does.
To outwardly, or sometimes people are just.
A lot of us have a low self-esteem though anyway. It's not really just that. There's more to it.
I think some people are just so detached from reality.
I think that's what it is. It's a detached from reality.
They just lack self-awareness, you know? And it's just like, damn it. Can't stand that dude.
Yeah.
Or whoever it might be.
Right.
And
just unfollow and block them. It's okay. And then don't have to go to all the family functions if there's someone in your family like that. But I really do I get really annoyed with like fake people getting an applause. Like y'all can't see through this bullshit. Like, what are you doing? Like, I think of like salesman-y people. You know how I've always been about. I'm an HSP, so I'm very intuitive.
You hate salespeople.
I'm not very big on salespeople. I can see through their bullshit, and I'm just like, I'm not going to sit here and have small talk with you. I don't have poker face. I don't really care to be around you. But there are people who are like, oh, and you're kind of like that. You're like, oh, they're such a great guy. They're such a great girl. I love these people. They're so sweet. They're nice. You know, you can just talk to them, and I'm just like, bro, you can't see through this bullshit right now. You're sitting here applauding these people of like just being completely inauthentic. And then we're just like, okay, whatever.
I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I see what you see, but I'm trying to be nicer about it. Man, you have.
Oh, we're really going to get into this, aren't we?
Your face is subtitles for what you're feeling.
Oh, I am. It's bad. It's bad. It comes off as rude, I'm sure. Or bitchy. It's just my face, though.
No, it's not. It's a lot of times it's your inner dialogue, and your face is the subtitle for whatever's going on in your brain.
But it's not a terrible thing to like protect myself from small talk bullshit.
How does giving someone a dirty look protect you?
I'm not giving them a dirty look. I'm not giving anybody a dirty look. It's just my face that I'm feeling. It's just like I have a face.
Okay, Paige. Okay.
What? It's not towards them. It's just the way we're getting off track, but I don't care. This is an interesting conversation.
For me, it's always been like, I know what you're doing and I don't like it, and I'm not going to play that game. I'm not going to give you the time. I'm not going to give you attention. I'm not going to give you. No, I'm not playing it. That's bullshit's for them. It's not for me.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to expose them and be petty about it.
Don't expose
I'm not
them.
saying you do. I'm saying that would be a petty reaction to someone. The episode's about pettiness,
so I wonder if I'm being petty. Am I being petty? Because I have the face where I'm just like, but I'm not trying to be rude. Like, ooh, I don't know. You've got me thinking now.
I know. I've been on this forever, and I'm glad you had this moment of self-awareness just now.
I'm being petty.
You are.
Damn.
You are. Because it doesn't serve any purpose to protect you. It's almost a way to let them know, like, you're dumb. I need you to know that you're dumb.
No. Okay, I'm going to have to like journal on this or something. Or I'm going to talk to like something. I don't know. I want
to know what it accomplishes. What does it accomplish?
It's not for me to let them know that that's how I feel about them. It's not for me to like let them know, look, I don't like you and I'm letting you know that. I'm not doing that. It's really just me of like, I don't really want to be around you right now. Like, I just don't care. Like, I don't want your energy. It's not to punish them. It's not to show them who they are. It's all about me.
Can I play psychologist with you for a moment?
Yes, let's go. Okay, this is fun.
Could it be that it seems as if they take pride in themselves and you don't take enough pride in yourself for the things that make you great when no one's watching? Let me think of a different way to word that. This person
saying that they have qualities that I lack?
Yeah, but they're not qualities that you would even want to have. They're qualities that you don't like that are getting attention. And the ones that you have aren't getting attention. And so your way at sort of leveling the scores to let them know that they're like a shithead?
No, because it's not about attention to me. It has nothing to do with the attention.
Is it the fact that they're so dumb they don't see it?
Probably.
Did you think I was going to throw something just now?
No.
Oh,
did I flinch?
It looked like it, yeah.
Oh, no. I don't know. I'm thinking of a specific person.
Okay.
That we haven't talked to in many, many years. I think, I don't know, they were just very popular and very loud and very obnoxious. And I just didn't understand
why anyone liked them,
why anybody liked them. But then people would talk about them behind their back.
Ooh.
So
joke's on them.
But that's not right, and that's not okay. So it's not being. I think people used this person. I don't know, but it's not me being petty to let them know that this is how I feel, and it's not. Damn you! This has been like an actual topic within my brain within the past month. So this is interesting that this was brought up on the damn episode. Because I didn't even think that it was going into a petty conversation. Like, I feel like it's me just protecting my energy and I just don't want to, I don't know. But then there are times where I'm like, they need to know.
but that's petty, right? See?
Shit. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of energy, protecting your energy. What about matching energy? That's another one.
God, that's a whole other episode that we were going to go on. I do not believe in matching energy. What are you getting into? What are we going?
No, that is like the essence of being petty. It's like if someone's being petty, I'm just going to be petty back.
Yeah, I don't think that's okay.
I think that is a valueless way to operate. I see it all the time.
Yeah, I think that you're going to completely lose yourself if you start to be that way, because then you're just going to be, that's like a chameleon. You're just going to do whatever anybody else does.
Yeah, you lack values.
You have no agency. You're not even doing what you want to do.
That's what I think about it. Maybe there's a good reason to do this because I see it so much.
What about matching energy?
Yeah, I see it all the time.
You know how we feel about that.
Sort of like a new age way of operating in the world. It's like, I'm going to match their energy.
I don't think there's like science that backs it up.
I don't think so either. No. No.
Okay, well, I disagree with it, and I don't think that I think that's a terrible way to go about things. Just being real.
Yeah, I don't think it makes much sense. I don't think it's going to really benefit you much at all either. I think
know what's great? That's what like with you and me, when I'm down and I'm shit, you're happy and you're like going with the flow, being kind, and then when you're down and shit, I'm happy trying to make things better. So we don't match each other's energy. We do the opposite for each other.
You want to see.
Right. It's like yin and yang. It's like
a model of behaviors I would love for you to display at that moment.
Well, it's not necessarily that. It's just like just being there for the other person. Like, I don't want you to be in my misery. Sometimes I am like, can you please just suffer with me for a moment? But then
quit being positive, goddammit.
No, but it's okay.
Yeah, like tonight, you were in a mood.
Oh yeah, before this. Mm-hmm.
And I refuse to allow your mood to affect my mood, so I'm just going to keep being me. And I was in a really good mood, and I know it rubbed you the wrong way, but I don't care.
It didn't rub me the wrong way. I'm glad that you did that. We discussed this in our program. Literally, like you do not
seem in those moments.
You don't take on other. You just want me to do what you do.
But I'm not going to be petty.
But that's not where I'm at.
When you came home, you were being really snarky and short and angry and mad at everything, and like stuff's like hitting the counter harder than it should. And I'm like, I think I asked the question like, what do you need from me? Like, what is support?
You
look like right now.
did?
Because in that moment, I was like, well, I mean, I've already done the dishes and I've done all this other stuff.
You did
like,
some great things. It's awesome.
Cleaned up. So I've taken all the
Thank you, by the
obvious
way.
stuff off your plate at this moment. Like, what kind of emotional support do you need? Like, what's going on? What happened in your day that I don't know about? And you're like, nothing, I'm fine. Like, yeah, you're real fine. Okay. So I'm just going to be a golden retriever and eventually it's going to rub off on you. That's the way I see it.
Damn, I make you walk on eggshells. I got some work to do.
I don't
lately.
I don't walk on eggshells. I just golden retriever.
Yeah, you do.
You can't get mad at a golden retriever. You ever seen those things?
It's true. You have golden retriever vibes.
So just have that if someone's in a shit mood. But I think kind of back to the assertive way to handle something like this. Man, just you don't even really necessarily need to tell them, because I don't think that there's really any benefit in doing that. Most people that act like this they lack self-awareness anyway.
Yep.
I think you have to tell yourself, like, I want success. I want like admiration, but not if I have to be like them to get it. And you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with you. You got to be okay being you. I think that more than anything, that's something I've had to learn about myself, like discovering the low self-esteem that was underlying sobriety and everything else. It's like, I got to like me more than anybody. I got to be okay with me.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, even if someone else is winning more than me, it's like, but I like me and I'm okay with me and I'm not that asshole. So I'm okay. Make sense?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the place you have to get. Okay. We mentioned our course just a moment ago. And if you weren't aware, we do have a course. It's called Independently Strong. Independently Strong is a course that produces high agency people. Addiction is confusing as hell, and how you get through it is even more confusing. There are courses, I guess, programs out there that'll take you down the codependency route and just have you focus on your defects. And in doing that, you're going to discover flaws within yourself. It's going to fix you. There's also sort of the general therapy route where you can kind of go through therapy and figure out, what is it about me that makes me susceptible to being these types of relationships? What can I do? And then you can read all day long, all the books about boundaries and just stay confused. Or you could just buy our course. Our course was produced by us along with a licensed therapist. Dr. Christopher Taylor is a clinical architect of our course. So it's not just us giving our perspective as two people that have worked through this. It's also got clinical expertise. It's going to teach you boundaries and what that actually means and how to actually instill those in your life and how to stick by them. It's going to teach you what enabling someone versus supporting someone is. It's going to show you how to live a life of your own choosing. It's going to show you how to reframe hope. It's going to show you how to stop running from fear and making decisions from a place of fear. If it does anything
Clarity.
at all, we don't encourage anyone to leave a relationship. We don't encourage anyone to stay in a relationship. We encourage people to act with agency. Our goal is to give you the tools to make decisions that align with your own values about what's best for your life. And sometimes that means staying and working through it just like we did. Other times that means walking a path without somebody because you've done everything you can, but you're going to know what that looks like. And you're going to know if you've turned over every stone possible after working through it. You can get 75% off that course if you go to independentlystrong.com and at checkout, enter the code Wheelies75. Again, that's Wheelies with an S, 75. And since you're online, go over to tufo.com. We've got a website with merch. We've got a newsletter where you can get weekly. Well, actually, I've missed one, but this week I was back on this week.
Good job.
We got a newsletter, merch, sweatshirts, hats, stickers,
Rocks.
recovery rocks. If you want to support someone that has walked through it with you, got our logo on the front, on the back. It says, "Thank you for being my rock." It's a really cool way to acknowledge the path of someone else, the journey of someone else that has walked through recovery with you. Spouses, partners don't get a lot of recognition, but that's what we're about here. So check over the website. Buy some merch, support the show. We'd appreciate it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Let's take this thing home. What we got next?
Okay, we still have a little bit more. I just wanted to talk about what
This is like a mini pages perspective.
Yeah. Why?
This next segment.
What kind of these go to hand in hand?
Okay.
Values over pettiness. So what do a lot of spouses do, which no one blames them for, because a lot of the times some of this stuff is kind of trauma responses. But again, we've talked about this a million times that trauma responses are not an excuse to respond in certain ways.
They explain things.
They just explain
They're
things.
not excuses.
They're not excuses. Yeah. So constantly bringing up past failures. This can be petty because if somebody's trying to change or somebody's, really walking the path of recovery and you're constantly on their ass about what they've done in the past and how they've messed up and how they've harmed you and doing this over and over again, it's not going to be beneficial for both of you or like either of you. Like there's a better way to have conversations about this, not be petty about it. and not throwing it in their face. Like I did not throw a lot of shit in Matt's face I don't think I've ever done that. Have I?
No, here's how it worked in our relationship. Technically, yes, but it was done in the most loving way possible.
Okay.
Whenever you saw a new behavior, let's say that I'm spending money responsibly now. Like I was,
Thank God.
I was a finance major and I blew through all of our finances. I was supposed to be the one that handled the finances. That was my job.
I was handling the finances.
That was my job, right? And I wasn't doing it.
No.
Whenever I got back on board and I was taking care of things, you would say, I'm really proud of the way that you've handled this. Like, it's so nice to know that I can trust you and that we're not broke and that there's not money disappearing and I don't have to wonder where it went, and you're being honest about it. So in that moment, you are both rewarding me and reminding me of the behavior that we don't want to see again.
Ooh.
And you've always been so good about that. Look at
how
you.
You framed that.
You're
Look at
such a
that
genius.
shit.
Look
That's
at you
awesome.
go. You meant to do it, huh?
Yeah, totally. I learned that. That's just how we rolled.
Yeah, and I think the same thing for like showing up like with the kids, like as a present parent. Like
That's really good.
You would let me know like you were really there for, one of the kids whenever they were going through that, and like the way you handled that was so amazing. It's so much better than whenever you used to fly off the handle and get pissed. You're letting me know I did used to do that, and that was not okay. But this new thing is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we will talk about things that have happened in the past, but we talk about it in a way that's like you said, comparing it to the changed behaviors and how it's really impacted us now and how it's better now than it was back then. I think that's cool. I never really thought about that. That's how I do that, but that is how I do that.
Yeah. And the only time it's ever come back up or it's ever stung me is my entire life has been like balance is the word of my life, trying to seek balance. I tend to go to extremes with things. So if it's like some new workout program, I'll go too hard and heavy on it and I'll disregard checking in on you and like how your day was. I'll be talking about myself, and you'll bring me back down to earth, and you'll say things like you need more balance. Like you're way too invested with that. Like we've still got a family over here. Like you need to bring it back.
Yeah.
You'll remind me, you'll be assertive though. You're not being petty. You're not saying, oh, here he goes again, Mr. Drug Addict, Mr. Extreme. Here he goes. Weak-minded little dipshit.
I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to bring out any shame. I'm not trying to harm you for anything that you've done for me, done to me. I'm just trying to bring it up in general and have a conversation about it.
Yeah. You've never made me, I think that you're just like, you're graceful about things. Like grace is something you're given that you don't necessarily deserve and you can't earn it. It's just given to you freely. And I've always taken that and respected that so much as a gift, like a true gift. Grace is a gift. It is, I'm giving you this thing, no strings attached, because I love you. And simply that. You've never made me earn things back per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you were never petty about like making me earn things back.
No, I thought I want things to come back organically. Like that's kind of how our relationship works in general.
Yeah. I don't see how that's going to ever be beneficial. Like A, you're basically parenting your spouse at this point, and B, you've created this imbalance in the relationship where it's like superior subordinate. And it's like, I boss you around and I tell you what to do. And even if someone has screwed up, if you're trying to rebuild it, like you need to give that space for people to have some kind of autonomy in it.
Yeah.
And give them the space to make mistakes. And I think that's where a lot of it comes from, is the fear that like, I need the result. I need the result that we both want, which is you get well, we get shit together, and we get back to life, get back to living. And I think a lot of it comes from just disgust and anger and the fact that someone's not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And just, you've lost patience with it. That's the one X factor that you can't teach. And it was that you hadn't lost patience with me yet.
Right.
I think there's so many people that are going to hear this episode and wonder, could I have done more to be more supportive like you were to me? No, not necessarily, because you may have lost your patience. You may have gone way past the point of,
right,
this means nothing to me anymore. I've lost my patience. I was kind. I was sweet.
Right. I did all those things.
I did all that stuff. And you shit on me like 100 times and then some. So it is fair to say that the reason this, I think, worked was because you still had patience left, and I had more willingness than anything in the world to want to let you know that like that gift was not in vain.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What are some other ways people get super petty?
This is a good opportunity to bring up our podcast, our content and stuff. I don't want people to weaponize our stuff with their partners. Like don't send it to them saying like, you must listen. You need to listen to this. You have to listen to this, because you've done some of the shit like that he did, and this is crazy, and you need to fucking listen to this now. Like there's a way to invite somebody into our conversation without forcing it down their throat or telling them like this is what you need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like don't send someone the clip of me like passionately making a point about something that's out of context usually, because that's how social media works, and with some like smart ass message that goes along with it.
Yeah, like the smart ass messages that go along with it. That's I really hope. I know that some people might have done that, and I'm not going to. I don't blame you for it, but there is a better way of doing it and bringing up the conversation of like, hey, let's listen to this together. You know, I found this great podcast. They've got some really interesting things to say. Are you willing to listen to it with me? You know, let's make it this date night. Like maybe we can have some conversations surrounding it instead of like, you know, vomiting it on them.
Yeah. And I think we do our best to not put content out there that we think can be used that way. But again, like literally hundreds of chunks of episodes have been out there, made in video form, and it gets posted. And then what sucks is really the state of mind that you're in is how you're going to perceive that clip. Like some people know exactly what we were trying to say. Some other people are approaching it from a totally different frame of reference, and it means something totally different, and it can be used in the wrong way, sent to someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Another one would be like purposely leaving somebody out of like family plans or updates. You know, you want to punish them or make them feel the way that you felt. Like maybe you felt unseen, you felt unimportant, you felt unsafe, you felt all of these things, and you want to make them feel the same way you felt. That's petty. You know, there's a better way to go about that.
Difference between protecting your family and your peace and everyone's, you know, the safety of the environment there, so you don't have this volatile drunk person or high person running around being an idiot. Difference between doing that and just wanting someone to hurt. There's a difference. There really is.
Yeah.
I think you always have to question your intentions on these things.
Right. Like it's not about revenge or making them feel how you felt, because it's not going to make you feel better when you do these things.
Yeah. Back to that study, it actually delays your healing.
Yeah, it will.
And it strengthens rumination, which then keeps you tethered to that situation or that person even longer. If what you want is relief from it, then that's not the way to get it.
Right.
It's actually the opposite. It will keep you stuck in it even longer.
Yep.
It's rough. What other things, some of the petty ways, those were kind of fun to go through, the list of petties.
The ones that I was just, some of them were like, it was okay. And they weren't like, some of them were okay. I don't know. Which one did you want? We already talked about the cryptic social media jabs.
We talked about using the addiction as an argument or using addiction
as a weapon.
Yeah. Like if you didn't drink away our marriage, things like that. Every chance you get.
Right.
I know that feels good, and I know it's probably true, but what purpose does it serve in that moment?
No, if you want to heal together or you want to grow together, you can't go back to that way of communication. You have to change the way you communicate with each other. And there's going to be a learning curve there. It's going to be difficult and challenging.
I don't think I've ever met anyone who just like hated their spouse. Oh, maybe done some things that they detest and just some abhorrent, horrible things, but I don't think anyone hates them. They understand why they've done the things they've done and how they found themselves hooked on something. And I don't think that anyone would want their last words to somebody to be something like that. And if they were, listen, it is what it is. But I'm just saying, like, if you could go back 5 years from now and say, would I have that same conversation or would I approach it different? Imagine you're healed and you're on the other side of it. What kind of conversation would you have? What kind of words would you use? I would guess anyway, you'd probably have a more mature conversation. You'd probably be more assertive about your needs, about what you need, and more mature about things, as opposed to, you know, cycling back to middle school and just being petty. Yeah. Slashing someone's tires or doing whatever the hell people do out there to get back at somebody.
Crazy. Yeah. Proving a point instead of solving a problem. So like, let's say that.
Dude, that's the oldest fight in marriage almost.
It's proving a point. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's where communication gets crazy. It's not about proving a point. We shouldn't be trying to win our arguments. We should be trying to
Solve a problem.
And that means finding, like, compromising and finding a middle ground and finding something. It doesn't matter. I mean, maybe one person is right and the other person's wrong, but you really just have to break it down by each problem.
We ever talked about that? It wasn't a fight. It was the time we solved the problem on the way to get the injection about dance.
I don't remember if we talked about that.
It's a good example.
We may have.
I'll get through as quick as I can. We've got a kid in dance. She's great at it. Dance takes a lot of time and commitment. It's like 5 days a week. It's 5, right?
Sure.
4 or 5 days a week.
It's life.
Paige was a dancer, loves it, believes in it for more
I'm
than.
still a dancer, homie.
That's true. More than just the physical aspect of it. Like it builds discipline. It builds character. Loves it, right? I look at dance think it's great for all those reasons, but I'm also really big on academics. And so for whenever we had kids, like, academics are going to be a big deal in the home. I want them to, because they were not in my home. I don't want to be like the crazy academic parent. Like, you bring home A's.
They were important in my home. We were pretty balanced.
But I wanted to make sure that our kids weren't coming home with C's and spending all their time in their extracurriculars. And so we had this conversation. And in the beginning, I think I was trying to prove a point. And my point was, you're biased about how much time is spent in this extracurricular because you did it as a kid. And it's important to you because you did it. And I think that your perspective is jaded and biased.
There's my face.
Yeah, there's your face. That was me trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
And I had to stop myself from doing that and say, what problem are we both trying to solve? We've got a kid who's really busy. Grades are slipping. What do we actually both want? We want our kid to participate in extracurriculars and get the grades.
Yes.
And so then the conversation shifted from me trying to prove a point to, hey, what does it studying actually look like? How do we make time for this class? What about tutoring? What about, coming in for advisory hours or whatever that looked like? And at the end of it, we high-fived each other. It's like, man, we solved that problem. Like, we had a plan. Everything was good.
It was amazing.
But
it
could have been derailed quickly. And that's just an example of me doing it, because I remember myself doing things more than you, but trying to prove a point as opposed to trying to solve a problem.
Right. And I think a lot of people do that. And I've witnessed you do that within our relationship too, is that you think that you know what I'm trying to say or what I think. And so you're trying to fight against that, but you really don't know what I'm trying to say or what I think. Like, you put your thoughts in my head, or
projecting.
You're projecting, right, instead of actually listening to what I'm trying to say or
Precisely.
what I'm trying to convey.
Yeah.
Like, you really just have it stuck in your mind. Like, this is what you think. And I'm going to fight you on that and try to make sure that we don't have to go down that road. But in reality, you're just not listening to what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Or just not believing what you're saying.
Right. Or not believing, which is wild to me, because I'm like, I'm not a good liar at all. And also, maybe I don't articulate it very well. I know that's something that's very difficult for me. But most of the time you can read my mind, and maybe that's where it gets complicated. But sometimes you really do just project and you assume that you know what I'm thinking when that's not really what's going on. And we've had a lot of fights over that. Like, even back in the day, it was more of like you thinking that you know what I'm thinking, but that's not what's going on.
Yeah.
So we just had to learn how to communicate differently.
Let's say that there's let's say that you're both running late for something and someone's lost the car keys. Let's say it's me. I've lost the car keys.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than, what we both need to do is find these keys, but suddenly you can be fighting about, you're always losing keys because you're an irresponsible person.
Mm-hmm.
How productive is that to the problem we're trying to solve, which is we need to
find the keys,
because we're going to be late if we don't.
It doesn't matter who lost them or why. It's just like, let's figure out the problem.
Does, but in that moment, like, it doesn't do any good to focus on that thing. Like,
right. This is like how instead of why.
Yeah, that kind of shades into the petty. We can figure out why.
Right.
But we got to figure out the how first.
Right.
How are we going to get there?
Yeah.
Let's solve that problem, and then we can solve this other problem.
Yep.
It's more of a long-term issue anyway, generally.
Yeah. Okay.
Looking at you, Chief.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to, that's all the examples. I kind of wanted to close it out with like why trauma makes pettiness so tempting.
That's good. This is sort of the explanation for it.
Yeah, because it's not just immaturity. Sometimes it's just your pain trying to feel powerful. Kind of what we started with this is that it makes you feel like you're in control and like you're controlling something because you've been out of control for so long. So it's not necessarily just immaturity. Like it's a response. And when you jab at people, sometimes it feels like, oh, I'm doing something. Like
It feels like power.
Yeah, like this is powerful. And it becomes your armor because if I hurt you first, you can't humiliate me. Like, what if you do it first? Like, you can't get back at me because I started that. It's like an armor.
Yeah, defense mechanism.
Yes, it is. Defense. It is. And you typically confuse boundaries with punishment. So, like, I'm not talking to them becomes a mind game instead of a self-protective act. And a lot of people do get boundaries confused with punishment. It's different. Boundaries are about you. Being petty, and punishment is about somebody else. That's about them. That's about wanting revenge on them. Boundaries are to protect you. So it doesn't matter what happens to them. It's whatever you need to do to make sure you're living by your values.
I heard a therapist describe boundaries in the simplest way, and it made so much sense. She said, boundaries are what I tell you I'm going to do, and you change nothing. You change nothing. Yeah. I'm telling you what I'm going to do.
Yes. And you change nothing. Exactly. I love that. It's great because it's about you. It's like, this is what I'm going to do. You do what you do. End of story.
Yeah, you can keep doing that. That's fine. I'm not even going to tell you that you can't.
Right.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to leave
It
the
is
room.
difficult to do that when you don't have the confidence, though. So that's kind of like what our program does, is help you build the confidence to where you can set those boundaries with clarity and confidence.
It creates agency and assertiveness.
It does. It does. So it's not about them. It's about you. It's about what you need and what you want and how you are going to live the life that you want to live based on your values. So like we talked about before, pettiness gives you that momentary high. It makes you feel good in the moment. But the values, when you live by your values, is what's going to give you the foundation. So we don't like those temporary things. Temporary fixes don't do anything for you. It's not long term. Feels good in the moment.
Yeah, there's probably a stage in your healing where you think it sounds like a good idea. Mm-hmm. Maybe you laugh about it. Maybe it feels very justified. Maybe it is justified. I'm not sure it is, though. I think oftentimes what you're trying to do is what you just talked about, is regain some kind of power and control over a situation that you've been powerless in, and you've been abused, and you've been wronged. And
Tit for tat too, though.
I matter. I need to be heard. They never end well. Think about every time you've ever been petty and how it ended. It didn't end well. It doesn't end well. It keeps you in that situation. It just keeps you in
it. It doesn't solve any problems.
Then you're going to ruminate over it. And then they're going to do something back. And you're going to ruminate over that. And then you do something back. And then it's back and forth forever. Like, someone has to, quote unquote, I hate this term, but be the bigger person and be mature about it and step away. Like, I'm not going to be a part of this anymore. I'm not going to be petty about it. I'm just going to be done with it. I'm not messing with this anymore.
That's you breaking that cycle.
Yeah. The study that was done on the paradox of being petty, basically, of revenge, was interesting because they talked to people that there was a school shooting in Virginia. I want to say the college in 2006. I can't remember exactly, but talked to the families of victims about what they would have liked done. And like, they talked to people that said, like, I want to kill him back. Like, I think the shooter had taken his own life, like many of them do. And the families felt shorted by that because they wanted to see him suffer. And so the researchers got interested and started to ask people. And there was a self-reporting study about, in moments where you have gotten revenge, how did you actually feel? And everyone, it was clear, everyone that had actually tried to get revenge felt worse in the end. And they were stuck for longer in that grief. It just made it that much more top of mind for them.
Yeah.
And so it's something that you think feels good. It's seductive and it's attractive in the moment, but it doesn't serve any purpose long term, especially for not what we do here.
Easier too.
Yeah, it is easier. It's way easier than to take that pain and have to do something else with it.
And do something with it and learn how to become more mature with your emotions and how you respond and how you do not be aggressive. You be assertive instead. Like, it's easier to be petty. Being petty is simple.
Yeah, and we're not telling you not to fight back.
No.
Just do it the right way.
Right.
Do it the assertive way.
Right.
Do it with boundaries. Mm-hmm. Don't do it with pettiness.
That's what standing up for yourself means. It's not doing this kind of thing. That's not standing up for yourself because it's going to keep you stuck in there. Standing up for yourself sometimes means being quiet. Sometimes it means you need to talk to somebody else about your what you're doing. Sometimes it's setting boundaries. It's walking away. It's doing all those things. That's standing up for yourself, not being petty.
Yeah, you can have deep wounds and still not weaponize them
Yeah,
in that
absolutely.
way to hurt other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope, if anything, people who have not been petty and maybe feel some regret that they weren't petty, take something from this and be like, I probably made the right call. Or for people that are stuck in this cycle with someone where there's just petty back and forth, maybe gain some clarity and they're like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. Yeah, I'm going to give that a shot. Challenge you to
growth-oriented episode here.
Knock it off and
try something new.
Go one day without being petty. If you're someone that just can't help yourself, try one day without being petty. So it can be in your tone or your delivery or in your voice, which is tough because sometimes it's just automatic. I'm looking at you.
We're going to have an episode on tone soon.
Tone and delivery. Or even try it in your own thoughts. If you catch yourself doing it, try to stop yourself and watch what changes within you when you stop giving your energy to people who don't deserve it. Watch what happens within you. Pay attention to the way your body feels. Pay attention to the way that your breathing feels. The tightness in your chest and in your back and how it sort of disappears when you take that high road and you don't stoop to those people's level. And just give it a shot and let me know what you think. Report back on the community. I'd be curious to know.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, that's all we've got on this one. I hope to have given you some kind of clarity here and interesting conversation nonetheless. Don't send anybody glitter bombs until we open up a glitter bomb company, because I just had a thought that would be the greatest thing ever.
Oh my gosh.
2 full glitter bombs coming soon. All right. Until next time, I'm Matt.
I'm Paige.
And we'll see you.
Bye.